The violence is opera.
Doing the press on Inglourious Basterds and been going around the world. And one of the last areas we opened up theatrically, commercially, was Japan.
Where after yet another press conference, he wandered into a local music store.
That just specialized in nothing but soundtracks. That's my kind of store.
While perusing the endless shelves, he stumbled upon a compilation of spaghetti western soundtracks. He just happened to be working on a book at the time devoted to the reviews and directing of Sergio Corbucci, who rose to fame thanks to the spaghetti westerns like Django.
Django, have you never...
You know, it's like Christmas in July. So happy. Get a little record player. Wow, I'm just listening to the soundtracks. I'm just playing all these great composers. And then the first scene, literally what's in the movie, the first scene comes to me.
Who's that stumbling around in the dark? State your business or prepare to get winged.
He spent the next 2 years working on Django Unchained. The final version was ready in May of 2011, and by November they had begun casting. It started off with Christoph Waltz rejecting the role written just for him. Dr. King Schultz, the similarity of the character to the actor himself deterred him, but Quentin insisted and said he just wouldn't take no for an answer. Christoph gave in, but on one condition. His character wouldn't do anything bad on screen. Quentin agreed by sending Waltz a handwritten note which read, of course, Mein Herr.
I had the same problem with Sam for about a decade. It's hard not to write for these guys.
It's like they sing my dialogue. They don't say it, they sing it.
Yeah.
Please forgive me, it is a second language.
Now, I've been wanting to do this story for a long time. There never was some German dentist bounty hunter in the story, all right? But the next thing I know, I sat down and wrote that opening scene, and he just flew right out of the pen like an antenna to God. Boom.
No doubt.
From the beginning stages of the script, Tarantino had planned to invite Will Smith to play Django. He was the only candidate, but Smith declined. Later, he explained that he hadn't felt that the character was the lead role. He was more of a sidekick for Dr. Schultz. Otherwise, it would have been Django pulling the trigger in the final scene. Tarantino countered that in that case, the murder would have been nothing but revenge, whereas a white man killing a white man was foreshadowing the coming Civil War and end to slavery. And though Smith called the script brilliant, and not once, he never regretted his decision.
I had said yes to Django, but with that story, I felt the only way I could make that movie is it had to be a love story, not a vengeance story. I don't believe in violence as the reaction to violence. For me, I just couldn't connect to violence being the answer. Love had to be the answer.
Wow.
After that, Terrence Howard, Idris Elba, Chris Tucker, Tyrese Gibson, and Michael K. Williams all tried out.
First of all, I heard about Django. I didn't even get the script, to be honest with you. I saw it on the internet where Will Smith was playing, and I was like, damn, another project that I didn't hear about, you know.
And actually, I had a management change.
And then next thing you know, I got a chance to, you know, jockey for position.
Well, it seems obvious now, but frankly, to tell you the truth, when he walked through the door, it became obvious, even though before I met him, it wasn't quite obvious.
No.
He's from Texas, he's from the South, he's not an LA boy or a New York boy. You know, he's from Texas.
I said, I know the dude needs to be able to ride his horse. I got my own horse at the crib. It would be cool. Not only did he allow me to take on the character, but I got a chance to ride my own horse in the film. He was gonna let me pick out my own clothes. D-J-A-N-G-O. The D is silent.
Calvin Candie was also written with another actor in mind. Tarantino didn't name names, but he didn't hire that actor because he realized he was just too old for the role.
But me being me, I forget that the last time I saw them was in 1991, and it actually has been 20 years since then.
But according to rumor,
I love rumors.
The role was most likely reserved for John Travolta, though we're certain that no one was upset with Tarantino's final choice.
Well, then we got nothing more to talk about.
Whenever I finish a script, Leo gets a copy of it. I don't send it to him, I think he just procures it. He can do things like that.
There was a sort of buzz about this script around for a while, and people were talking about the next Tarantino movie that was about to come out.
It was the talk of the town, how daring it was and how audacious and how hardcore it was.
And so he had read the script, and all of a sudden I got the word that he would be interested in talking to me about playing the character, Mr. Calvin Candie.
A lot of lies set around this dinner table here tonight, but that you can't believe.
In 2011, fate brought Leo and Quentin together, although that's not quite true. 3 years earlier, Tarantino had planned on inviting DiCaprio to play Hans Landa's role in Inglourious Basterds.
Why don't you try telling us what the fuck happened?
And though Leonardo's German isn't bad,
Ein kleine Stadt.
the director later decided that he wanted an actor whose native tongue was German. But the desire to work together didn't pass. That's why in 2011, Leo joined the ensemble of Django Unchained. Once again, Quentin saw the villain in the actor. Calvin Candie was
one of the most narcissistic, racist, horrible characters I've ever read in my entire life. And I had to do it.
The only person there were no problems with was...
Hello, my ass.
So I did The Mountaintop right before I did Django. So I went from playing Martin Luther King to Stephen.
Well, you got a problem with that? Oh, no, I ain't got no problem with it.
So 15 years ago, I could have played Django. Now I can't. But now you want me to play like the most hated in cinematic history. So
we were both kind of like laughed together and said, yeah.
So are you ready for what this is going to be? And he's like, whatever you bring, bring it. So I brought it.
Lo and behold,
I told Quentin Stephen was going to have his fans.
Stephen could read, write, count, do all those things. And inside the confines of Candyland, he was king. Even when Calvin was home, he was king.
Stephen, what the hell are you talking about?
It also gave me an opportunity to do really nasty shit to the person that got the role that I thought I should have had. Let's whip him today. Throw him to the Mandingo. Feed him stone side.
After that, the project was joined by Kerry Washington, Jonah Hill, Bruce Dern, Walton Goggins.
I know the company that I'm sitting in. I'm afraid to close my eyes for fear that this isn't really happening.
And many of Quentin's old friends. And of course, Quentin's cameo.
So how about no bags this time, but next time we do the bags right, and then we go full regalia.
And his other cameo.
A little donut off for you black boys to play with. If I put myself in there and I have to cut it down to nothing, I have no problems with that. All right, if I have Sam Worthington waiting around for 6 months, I'm gonna feel bad if I cut a scene down to nothing. The fuck are you talking about?
Another interesting cameo was Franco Nero's, who played the lead role in the original Django.
What's your name?
Django. No one will hurt you anymore as long as you're with me.
Actually, I had the two Djangos right next to each other in the same frame. It was one of those movie moments. We were kind of pinching ourselves when we were shooting.
Franco Nero is one of my favorite Western icons that there is.
I know.
Also, we can't forget a typical Tarantino film moment. In the beginning, James Remar's character dies at the hands of Dr. Schultz. In the end, James Remar's other character kills Dr. Schultz.
What was that?
While preparing for the role during a writing session, Christoph Waltz dislocated his pelvic bone.
Well, you know, the riding the horse wasn't that much of the challenge. The falling off was.
Quentin was afraid that he would have to delay shooting, but after rereading the script realized that he only had to change a few lines to move Schultz from the back of a horse to a carriage bench. In the end, it only added to the film.
Calm yourselves, gentlemen. I mean you no harm. I'm simply a fellow weary traveler.
The picture received a record-breaking budget for Quentin, $100 million. And on the 25th of January 2012, they started shooting.
Sun comes up and rises high. It's so hot, it's gonna make me cry. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
On the very first day, the director had to have an enlightening conversation with Jamie Foxx.
I'm reading my lines like, yeah, and he said, cut. Can I talk to you for a second? Close the door. What the fuck is that? I said, what you mean? Listen, all of this shit, you have to be a fucking slave. You come in with your fucking Louis bag and your fucking Range Rover and your fucking Jester. I'm so fucking, you're not Jim Brown. He's a fucking slave. And then he becomes the hero. But lose that shit. Door swings open, he walks out. And so the next day I left all that at the crib and sunk into that type of person who was strong on the inside, but afraid to allow it to come out because you would be murdered.
What's your name?
Django. And for Leonardo, it was a real challenge to depict pure evil on the screen.
It was really my first attempt in like I said, playing a character that I had this much disdain and this much hatred for.
Once, he couldn't even finish a scene because of the overwhelming amount of racist comments in it, almost as though he was punishing himself for the role.
And I said, what's the deal? He said, it's tough. I said, you know what? You're human. It's supposed to be tough. Samuel Jackson quickly said, hey, MF, get over that. It's just another Tuesday for us. Yeah. And let's get going.
It's all right, it's all right. I think it was Sam and Jamie that both said, look, man, if you sugarcoat this, people are gonna resent the hell out of you. By holding the character back, you know, you're gonna do an injustice to the film and people are gonna feel like you're not telling the truth. And from that, honestly, that was the thing that sort of ignited me into going the way I did with the character.
Yes, it did.
Leonardo was always getting hurt. While rehearsing the scene with the hammer, it broke and hit him on the forehead. And probably one of the most famous stories was about how DiCaprio cut his hand banging on the table.
Hey! Lay your palm flat on that tabletop!
And continued the take as though nothing had happened.
So the choice was, I suppose, to either go on and finish my speech or not.
And I opened my hand and then blood starts pouring everywhere. And I saw Jamie go, yeah, like this. And Quentin like had his hand and he goes.
I think they thought that maybe I had some sort of blood rig.
Where were we?
When the take was over, the whole film crew gave him a standing ovation. After bandaging his hand, Leo suggested that Calvin use that hand to cup Kerry Washington's face. The actress and director both thought it was a good idea, so Tarantino quickly found some fake blood. Don't ask where, it's Tarantino. He always has a little fake blood handy. And they shot the scene.
Quentin wasn't sure if he wanted to use the take with the blood or not. So every moment after we shot twice, we would shoot completely bloody with him touching my face. And then we had to take everything off and shoot it again totally clean.
Why? Because we love making movies.
Shooting lasted for over 5 months, and the amount of footage filmed was mind-blowing. When the film's producer Harvey Weinstein first saw how much Tarantino had shot, he wanted him to take the proven route and split the movie in 2. But Quentin preferred to shorten the film almost by half. Scenes that didn't make the cut included the backstory of D'Artagnan's hunters, and some scenes with Zobel. Also, the dialogue between Steven and Django when they arrived at Candyland was before the scene where Schultz meets Broomhilda. This scene was Jamie Foxx's favorite one, which didn't make the final cut.
And he slaps me. He slaps me down. That's the setup between me and him that they didn't use in the movie. So by the time we get to the point where he's hanging upside down in that barn, and I start using that hot poker to burn parts of his body, I always thought he was gonna put a director's cut out and keep it. Because we did shoot it.
What's so special about that?
But the biggest loss was a whole plot line where Kerry Washington's character was sold by a slave owner, played by Jonah Hill.
But nobody can see. So it'd be nice to see.
The actor had around 15 minutes of screen time, but Quentin wasn't pleased with the outcome, so he gave Hill a small role in the Ku Klux Klan and invited Sacha Baron Cohen to replace him. But the reshot episode was cut anyways.
Sacha Baron Cohen, he's a great guy and I'd love to work with him. It was simply the fact that I ended up dropping that sequence. It was a scene I just knew, this will never make the movie. I don't have the days and the time and the money to spend on something that I know is going to get dropped from the editing room.
Goddamn time
wasting sons of bitches.
The editing dragged on for 4 months, mostly because Tarantino couldn't work as well as when he had Sally Menke by his side.
I've been really melancholy these last few days, because this is usually the time where she would kind of be running the show, this last little bit. So I'm particularly missing her now. I have to be more responsible for my own movie.
Menke's place was taken by Fred Rasky, who had previously worked as Sally's assistant on Kill Bill, and was the film editor for the first, The Fast and the Furious. During the first stage of writing the music for the picture, Quentin had a serious argument with Ennio Morricone, who was upset with how the director had used his compositions in the film. And vowed never to work with Tarantino again. However, 3 years later, he broke his vow, and for the first time in his career, at the age of 86, won an Oscar.
This is the first Oscar and 6th nomination for Ennio Morricone.
The premiere of Django Unchained was in New York on the 11th of December 2012.
Critics say director Quentin Tarantino, who is no stranger to violence and shock value, may have gone too far.
Say it'd be disrespectful to my ancestors.
The film has already sparked controversy over its repeated use of the N-word. And now director Spike Lee says he won't go to see it.
I have intelligent things to say about this shit.
Some people tend to take themselves really seriously because they're making a film.
You take 12 Years a Slave, which is supposedly made by an auteur.
And it's all dark, and it's a really gritty look at the realities of slavery. It's like, well, shit, so is this.
People start using, oh, I was offended by this, I was offended by that. Fuck being offended. What are you talking about? It's a movie. You like it, you don't like it. You don't want to watch it, you want to watch it. Because I believe in what I'm doing wholeheartedly and passionately, and it's my job to just get on with it.
The events that followed can only be compared to the success of Pulp Fiction. The picture earned more than $424 million and became the most profitable of Quentin's career. It also attracted many accolades. Christoph Waltz, for his role as Dr. Schultz, received a Golden Globe, a BAFTA, and the aforementioned Oscar.
You little dickens, you.
Waltz set a record, by the way. His character has 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 17 seconds of screen time. This is the longest of any actor who received an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
Astonishing.
Quentin was also not forgotten. For the screenplay of Django, he received a Golden Globe, a BAFTA, a Caesar Award. And 18 years after Pulp Fiction, he took the Dolby Theater stage once again to receive his prize.
Thank you very much. I love this. I love the competition. You guys are all wonderful. Peace out.